Okay. Well, welcome to our 2024 Miami County 4-H Fair update. I'm Karla Hightower. I'm the 4-H agent for the Mendocino District, including Miami County. And Katelyn will introduce herself.
All right. Yep. I'm Katelyn Barthol. I am your guys' ag agent. So I work a lot with the livestock kids, but also all the kids in general. So we are really happy that you guys took time out of your busy schedule and evening to listen to these several updates that we have for you guys.
Okay. And just to kind of give you a little bit of a heads up, we are going to, we're probably not going to stop all the time for questions. So if you have questions, please put them in the chat or save them for later and we'll have a question time, because I think some of the questions might be answered farther down as we go through the tonight. So yeah, if you need to remember, there's a chat button. You can put your questions in there. So.
All right. So we'll go ahead and get started. I made a little quick PowerPoint for us tonight to keep all of us organized. So our agenda for tonight, we're going to talk on the fair schedule. So what changes we've made to some of this fair schedule, the either check-in time or show time. We'll go in depth over each day on that. And then we'll go into all the departments that do have some additions or changes from last year. We'll do an update, which I know we've had several calls and questions regarding our sale this year and the changes for that. So we'll go over that. We'll talk about some quick reminders. And then, of course, like Karla said, we will open the floor up for questions. So we'll get rocking and rolling. Our full fair schedule. So we actually, Dog Show has actually moved this year. And it will just be, Karla will go into a little more detail, but we will actually just be doing 4-H Dog Show this year. And that has moved up a couple of weekends to Saturday, July 13th. Sorry, guys. They will kick things off at 9 o'clock, and this will be the entire dog show. So agility, showmanship, rally, and obedience. We also will have shooting sports for shotgun that day. We are not sure on time right now. That's why there's a to be determined on the time. And once we know that time, we will let you guys know. Archery will continue to be that Sunday the 14th. Fashion review judging will continue to be Monday the 15th at 9 o'clock. Shooting sports, BB and air rifle continue to be the 18th at 6 o'clock. And then really, if it doesn't have a star next to it, there's no changes. Sorry, I should have started with that. So Saturday the 20th, everything's still the same. So the pet show, fishing, skillathon, bicycle, and of course, Barnyard Olympics. Those all stayed the same. As well as on Sunday, the 21st, the horse show still stay the same, and it will still be on Sunday. This is quite, I'll go slow on this one. This is kind of a big slide for you guys, but for the most part, Monday, the 22nd, everything that was entered or judged in the previous years stays the same. So your visual arts, foods, photography, still kicking off Monday morning at 8, along with rabbit check-in in the afternoon, sewing and textiles, which Karla will talk about that later on.
Can I break in here?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Yep.
That's not rabbit check-in, it's poultry.
Oh, see?
That's
I knew
okay.
I was going to make a mistake somewhere.
Easy to do. Easy to do.
I apologize. Poultry check-in. I should have known I'd have some mistake in here somewhere, guys. Sorry, poultry check-in at 8 o'clock. Sewing, textile, shopping with style, interior design and architecture, fiber arts. We'll kick off in the 1 o'clock of the afternoon. That evening, sheep and meat goat vet check and weigh-in. That hasn't changed, guys. And then, of course, public fashion review at 7 o'clock that night. Tuesday, as you guys can see, there's no red stars by it. So there's really no changes with any of those. I'll let you guys kind of look through them real fast. There is a whole bunch going to be checked in at 8:30 that morning, so please make sure you look through that list. But other than that, everything else is still the same. for Tuesday, the 23rd. Now we're starting to get into a couple more changes, schedule changes. Wednesday, the 24th, a rabbit show will still kick off at 8 o'clock that morning. 4-H open and FFA, dairy goat, and also dairy cattle. Sorry, I apologize for not putting dairy cattle on here. You guys will still be showing at 8 o'clock that morning. If you are not stalling at fair, please be checked in at the fairgrounds by 7:30. But if you are stalling, you guys know the check-in times that you need to be down there at the fairgrounds. Changes. So bucket calves. You guys will actually be starting your interviews at 8:30 on Wednesday morning, and then your guys' show will start at 10 o'clock on Wednesday morning. And then Thursday, the 25th, kicking things off still with the swine show. And this is a big change that we hope everybody knows about. But beef show did change from Wednesday to Thursday evening, and we'll start things off at 6 o'clock. And then, of course, sell forms, they will be due at 10 o'clock that evening or before. Hopefully you guys get them turned in beforehand, but those will be due by 10 o'clock that night. Friday does look a little different. We will have a livestock judging contests at 9:30 in the morning. And then we will actually be pushing round robin contest to Friday evening at 6 o'clock. And then Saturday is a big change, guys. 7:30 in the morning, we will be releasing open 4-H and open class static events. Exhibits. So that's going to be everything in building 2, 3, and 4. Those will be released at 7:30 on Saturday morning. At 8 o'clock, we will have breakfast for the auction. And then 9 o'clock, the 4-H project and livestock auction will get going. So that is a big change from last year. I know we had the auction on Friday evening. The Fair Board moved to change that to Saturday morning this year. So please let everybody know that, whether that's family, buyers, etc. Please inform everybody that you know of that change. So with the auction moving to Saturday morning, animals, so any livestock, rabbits, poultry, will not be released until noon on Saturday now. We're going to try and get the auction and stuff over with, and then we will release all the livestock, rabbits, and poultry. And then the last change for Saturday is they will actually be doing ribbon premium payout at the fairgrounds this year. They will be doing that at 1 o'clock in building 2. So I know a lot of different changes with the schedule. We will have these posted on our website. I believe we have a document on our Facebook page that has these changes. So please let us know if you guys forget a date or something. Please ask. Don't be afraid to ask, hey, when did that class or show get changed to? I know we have several changes with our schedule this year, so please be watching and looking those things up. Our next department, I guess section we're gonna talk about tonight is what additions or changes have been added to the 4-H and FFA departments this year. So we don't have, I guess, a whole lot, but we might have a lot. It's kind of hard to determine that. I know we always have changes each year, but we thought we'd talk about the ones that we do have either a new department or different class numbers or class names, etc. So I'm going to turn this over to Karla. She does have a fair amount of changes in her section of things, and I'll just shut up and turn it over to Karla.
One of the quick things, kind of going back before I start on agronomy, is the premium payout. I do think that you would need to be there to do premium or to pick up your premiums. I do not think they're coming back to the office this year. So I think you might be able to pick them up at fair board meetings, but it's going to be a very short window of time. So try to have somebody there to pick up your premiums. And the other thing is we really need you to make sure and pick up your exhibits that Saturday. If for some reason you cannot pick up those exhibits, please make arrangements with someone else to pick them up. Because what's been happening is we've been bringing them back to our office and then nobody picks them up and they sit in our office for 6 months, and we're not doing that anymore. So if you don't get them picked up that day, they're probably not going to be around much longer than that. So just to kind of give you a heads up on that. Now going back into the 4-H department, sorry, I thought of stuff as we were talking. So 4-H and FFA agronomy. So this is a new department. It used to be crops and garden, and we kind of had combined it, and you could take 4 items total. We have now switched those out. It is its own project in 4-H now, and you can exhibit up to 4 crops in that. So if you're into agronomy or crops, you have a little bit more, you have more opportunities for exhibit, and those also can go to state fair. So, and now Katelyn's going to do beef.
Yeah, so we don't have too many changes this year in beef, but we did want to inform you guys that check-in time, beef will need to be on the ground and checked in by 9 o'clock now. I think it used to be 10 or 11 o'clock, but since we had animals already on the ground, we decided to move that up to 9 o'clock. So please have those beef checked in with the superintendent by 9 o'clock. Weigh-in, since we do not have the carcass scanning anymore, weigh-in for beef or for market steers, market heifers, as well as bucket calves. Don't forget to weigh those bucket calves. That weigh-in will follow directly after swine gets done. So I think swine, we start about 8 o'clock or so. We run through those pretty quickly to get those weighed. So around 9 o'clock or so, please be watching. And when we take down all the panels and stuff, start bringing your market steers, market heifers, and bucket calves down to get weighed. We did, with the addition to the bred and owned classes, we had some kind of confusion on what categorize as bred and owned classes or markets or steers or heifers, sorry. And we do have guidelines for what categorize as bred and owned steers and heifers in the fair book now. And then also, like I said earlier, the biggest change with beef is the show date and time change. So beef will be showing Thursday evening at 6 o'clock. We'll kick things off with market, then go to showmanship, and then in the night with breeding. So our next category is bucket calves. Again, the schedule changed, as I said earlier. Interviews will now be at 8:30 Wednesday morning. And one thing with the interview process, guys, exhibitors, you guys can bring a 3-ring binder or a notebook that has pictures, records, feed label, anything that you want to help that might help you describe your project to the judge. You guys are allowed to bring that. So like I said, a 3-ring binder or a notebook, feel free to make one of those up, and you guys can bring that to your interview process. Now, please just use that as a guideline and still be able to answer all those awesome questions that the judge has for you. But just use the notebook or the binder as like guidelines. And then, of course, bring pictures. We love seeing pictures. And then, of course, your guys' show starts at 10 o'clock. And then another new item for you bucket calf exhibitors, you guys can actually use show sticks in the ring this year. Now, there are show sticks that are smaller. So please, with bucket calves, try and get the smaller ones. If you need help finding some of those, let me know. I'll switch it back over to Karla.
All right. So now we're on to 4-H Clover Buds, and there's really no changes on this, but I don't think a lot of people know about our Clover Bud program. So we do have a special class just for 4-H Clover Buds, which is our 5 to 6 year olds, and they have to be 5 to 6 by January 1st. They can show up to 4 items in this class, and they get Clover Bud ribbons. And I think what the really neat thing is, we have conference judging for them. but they're provided by our older 4-H members. So they sit down with an older 4-H member and they can talk about their pets from an approved pet list. They can do a garden item, they can do a foods item, a craft or visual arts item, really anything, you know, sewing, anything that they've done throughout the year that they want to talk about. If they want to do a poster, you know, any of those type of things, they can do all those things and show that in our clover buds. So if you know of anyone that's in that 5 to 6 year range, yeah, might let them know about that so that they can get that done. And then on to dairy, Katelyn.
All right. So no changes really for dairy. And I say dairy show, I'm including dairy cattle and dairy goats, and that you guys will continue to be showing on Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock. So just a reminder, if you guys are not stalling the entire week of fair, those animals need to be on the grounds by 7:30. If you are stalling the entire week of fair, goats, you have to come in Monday night during vet check and inspection. And cattle, please be on the grounds by 8 o'clock, or sorry, 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. So nothing new there, just quick reminders, you guys will still be on Wednesday morning. All right, Karla, going back to you.
Oh, okay. So for 4-H dog, and I have several, so you're going to be hearing from me for a few minutes now. But 4-H dog, like we said, new show date. We moved it to July 13th, and we've done everything. So instead of having a separate show for agility, we're having your showmanship, obedience, rally-o, and agility all the same day. They're going to do check-in from 8 a.m. to 8:30 that day and show at 9. And I know this has been a request for several years because of heat, and most of our dogs are from the inside dogs. So hopefully that'll help. The other thing is, because of moving it and trying to get over before the heat really builds that day, there is no open class dog show this year. We've done away with that. We'll see how that response is. I'm not going to say it's going to come back, but you never know either. So that's kind of our dog right now. So hopefully that'll be good. Work all out for everyone. The 4-H fashion review. So there's been a lot of changes, not just with Miami County Fair, but also with State Fair. And some of these items that I'm changing is due to state projects changes or the State Fair changing. And State Fair has changed a few things in fashion review. So we are changing to kind of go along with State Fair, so there's no confusion. We will still do the conference judging on July 15th at 9 a.m. I don't know where it's going to be, but it's probably going to be at Lighthouse Church again. There was no separate young men's and young women's purchase review this year due to State Fair changes. They did away with, they used to have where we could send 2 4-H members in young men's and 2 4-H members in young women's. And they have now done away with that. We can now send 2 senior age purchase review people or winners and 2 intermediate age purchased review winners. So we've changed that. So we're going to do them all, judge them all together. And then there's new age divisions. So now that, because of sending champions, and they have a little bit different age divisions than we do here at our fair. So we can now send senior champions, which are 14 to 18-year-olds, and reserve champions, as well as the champion and reserve champion purchased review winner for the 10 to 13-year-olds. So we now have basically a 7 to 9-year-old category, a 10 to 13-year-old category, and a 14 to 18-year-old category for fashion review. So that is kind of a major change, but we're going to see how it works. And we kind of have to go along with guidelines, because there's nothing worse than trying to figure out if somebody is in one category and they're old enough to go to State Fair if they're not. So that's kind of how we work that. As far as floriculture, the one thing, this isn't really a change, but they've changed the name of the project you have to be enrolled in to show in our 4-H and FFA floriculture, which is in 4-H, it's the horticulture and landscape design project. So you have till May 1st to add or delete projects. And so maybe go into 4-H online. If you're interested in floriculture, go into 4-H online and make sure you have that horticulture and landscape design in there. That would be the same thing for horticulture as well. Going to 4-H geology, we have added the fossils and rocks classes, similar to State Fair. So we are also, just to kind of, as I'm talking about these, I'm not going to give you a lot of details about some of these new classes, but we are trying to get the state, or the State Fair book is probably available, and we'll try to get it up on our website, and we'll try to get a draft version of the Miami County Fair book as well up there, so you can kind of plan and see what some of the requirements are on some of our new classes, because we do have several new classes, and those are definitely, most of those were State Fair driven. Horticulture. So we changed quite a few things in horticulture. Like I said, you need to be enrolled in 4-H online in horticulture and landscape design project. We did do a new time. We are doing entry and conference judging at the same time this year, and it's matching the other projects there on that Tuesday morning. So it'll be from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. During that time that you'll need to enter and kind of get in line for conference judging. The other thing is, we used to list out every single vegetable and fruit or thing that you could bring to the fair, and we've kind of changed it to go along with State Fair to do just new class names. So we have large vegetable, small fruit, tree fruit, that type of thing. So there's definitions in the fair book that says what they are. And that doesn't mean you can't only bring like one large vegetable just because there's a new class. You can bring multiple entries in that class, but you're still limited to 4 entries total. So, you can bring four plates of large vegetables, which only require 1, and would be like zucchini, squash, pumpkins, those type of things. Or you can mix and match and do like 1 large and 3 medium vegetables like potatoes, onions, or sometimes a mix of small vegetable. There's fruit, there's grapes, different things like that. So be checking those things out as you're growing your garden this year. We'll have those out definitely in our fair books, and we're hoping to get our fair books out pretty quickly. So 4-H interior design and architecture is just a name change, and the class, the project name change as well. It used to be the home environment project department, and now it's going to be interior design and architecture. Same classes, same type of things, but just a little bit different name. 4-H miscellaneous. We have lots of different things in here. So this is used for any project where no educational exhibit classes are offered. And we have basically your basic notebook, display, or poster design. And those ones are not eligible for State Fair. However, we also have added in shooting sports educational posters, which were able to go to State Fair. And they've added several different classes in there too. So we're adding shooting sports experiential exhibits to our miscellaneous department. And these are State Fair eligible, like I said. And they're things like shooting aid or accessory, storage case, practice game or activity, an educational display about shooting sports, a promotional poster, or a notebook. And then the other thing is where they've added at the State Fair level, or State Fair for 4-H, is a vet science poster, display, or notebook. And we have added those classes into our miscellaneous department as well. So you can do a large animal poster, notebook, or display, and a small animal poster, notebook, and display. And it's about the vet part of vet science. So you are still limited to 4 total miscellaneous projects, but we have moved wildlife into its own department too. So that helps with that as well.
All right, to give Karla a short break, I'm going to jump in here on one change with the rabbit department this year. We have added the fur classes to its own division. So on fair entry, when you're doing your pre-entry selections and you have a fur class, look for those classes underneath that fur division underneath fair entry.
Okay, it's back to me. You're going to be so tired of hearing from me. No. Going to 4-H sewing and textile design, another new project name for 4-H. This used to be clothing, and we've replaced it with we replaced our clothing department with this. You cannot enter patchwork, quilting, or purchase clothing because we have shopping in style, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. That will be your purchase clothing. And recycled clothing items will still be here. So it can be any sewing and textile design thing you do. So it can be outfits, it could be pillows, it can be anything. But I would say if you're really doing patchwork or quilting, it probably needs to be in fiber arts. And then back to Katelyn for sheep.
All right, yep. So we just have a little quick update regarding some of the clipping requirements, mainly because we do have a increasing amount of hair sheep breeds starting to come into the county fair. And so they are a little different type of a hair sheep breed, hence the name. And so we wanted to kind of update our clipping requirements with that. So if you are a wool sheep breed, so you guys are still required to be slick shorn. But if you have a hair sheep breed, sheep, then you will only have to, those sheep will only have to be washed and brushed and to come to fair. And we do ask that you guys go ahead on those hair sheep, please wash them before you bring them into vet check. It's going to help vet check go smoothly, since that vet does have to go through a little more hair than they do on the wool sheep breeds, because those guys are going to be slick shorn. So just that was a quick change for sheep. Sorry, Karla, I didn't go slow enough. But
That's okay. You're good. Okay, so going back into 4-H shooting sports, really there's no major differences here, except we did change the fair book to match age divisions to our discipline requirements. So like to be in 4-H shooting sports, you have to be 8 years and older. 7-year-olds cannot be in 4-H shooting sports. 8 and older is our BB and archery departments. 12 and older are for rifles and shotguns. And I think those are the only 4 disciplines we are currently offering. So, and then another change is that BB and air rifle must attend 8 of the practices to compete at fair. Everyone else has to just do safety trainings, has to attend the safety training. So be sure you know those things if you're planning on shooting or doing shooting sports at our Miami County Fair events. And then this is a major difference here. So 4-H shopping and style has kind of taken the place of what we used to call clothing buymanship. And they actually are offering, they never offered anything but fashion review at State Fair until this year. And they have changed it to where they changed the name of it, and then they changed what we're actually can do at State Fair. So instead of bringing in your purchased clothing outfit and sitting down with the judge like we did with clothing construction, you will actually have an opportunity to do posters for 7 to 9-year-olds and displays for 10 to 13 and intermediates and 14 to 18. And the displays is about what you've shopped, the outfits you've shopped for, and kind of goes along with the project materials for that. And I do have the project materials in my office available. So if you want to check those out, we can also order some more if we need to. But like the junior posters, you choose one of the following activities from Unit 1 or Unit 2 of the curriculum. And it can be a poster that showcases a garment you purchased that reflects your personal style and explains how the garment reflects your style and how it influences what others think of you. Or a garment you purchased and explains how your personal style either aligns or contradicts what's considered to be in style today. There's a lot of there's 5 different options for every single one. In intermediates, they're about from Unit 3 or 4 of the curriculum. And so they have to do like an outfit you purchased to wear with a clothing item that was already in your wardrobe. You can do an outfit you purchased and explain why you selected the garment you did, your shopping budget, and cost per wear. And then when you go into senior, they get a little bit more in depth, and they have to do from units 5 or 6 of the curriculum. And it could be, you have to maybe use like an outfit you purchased, your care requirements, not only for this garment, but also for the garments made of other natural or synthetic fibers, a care cost analysis for the different fibers, an outfit you repaired, which you had to repair, or an outfit you purchased, which you had to repair or alter, how your outfit you purchased, along with plans and commentary for a fashion show, which I think that kind of sounds interesting. You can also do kind of an outfit you purchased it with a feature, any other complete activities. So there's lots of choices there, but it is a display now. Instead of bringing in the garment, it'll be a display or a poster for those juniors on that. And like I said, I do have the shopping and style curriculum. It's actually from Nebraska 4-H, and we can get those for you. You can check it out from my office, or if you want to purchase your own, let me know. So, all right. And then I kind of talked about this when I was talking miscellaneous, because it used to be a miscellaneous department, but 4-H Wildlife has undergone several changes at our state fair, therefore at our Miami County Fair as well. So we made it a new department because there are lots of different things you can do in wildlife. Just a reminder, the fishing skillathon is under our 4-H Wildlife too, so you need to be enrolled in 4-H Wildlife to be able to participate in the fishing skillathon. But so you still have your regular educational exhibits, your posters, your notebook, your promotional poster, and your educational display. But now we have added different classes like a display of fish harvesting equipment, a display on how to build a fishing rod, a casting target that you made for yourself. Going into that's kind of our fishing. Going into wildlife, we have wildlife harvesting equipment, board exhibit. We have inventing wildlife fish harvesting equipment, aid or accessory. So you have to kind of make your own item. There are some, just to kind of give you there are some guidelines where you can't bring like weapons or anything like that. You can't have knives and those type of things on those. They also have a tanned hides. So you have to have a wild animal hide properly processed by the member, taxidermy. You can do wildlife tracks, which is a board or diorama type box exhibit of a display of animal tracks using plaster of Paris. There's a wildlife knowledge check where you can make kind of a game show type thing or a game out of a board using electrical circuits, pictures, or other methods of teaching. You can make houses. So you can make different bird houses such as bluebird, wood duck, barn owl, bat houses. You can't do insects because of it's wildlife animals. And you can also make your own feeder or waters. So like bird baths or feeders, different things like that. And you can exhibit those as well. So that's all in our new 4-H wildlife department. So that kind of gets most of our departments. I'm now kind of going into special contest, and I don't think we actually got it on the schedule, but from 2 o'clock to 3 p.m. on Monday, the Monday of fair, so July 22nd, I believe this year. It's here in my notes. We have judging contests, and we usually have these in building number 4, and they're like photography judging contest, consumer judging contest, and entomology judging contest. And I'm hoping to add a horticulture skillathon contest there. We used to have horticulture. We did crops a couple years ago. So this will be it's probably not going to be real plants, but it'll be kind of that skillathon type feel for that. So we will have that as well. And any 4-H'er can participate. You don't have to be enrolled in a certain project to participate in those, but they're a great way to learn a little bit more about your projects and teach decision making at the same time, because that's what they really do. Test your knowledge and teach you decision making. Okay, I think I got through all of mine. So Katelyn, take it away.
All right, so last department change that we have is just a little small change in our round robin contest, showmanship contest. We wanted to just make it clear on how those round robin participants will be chosen. So those participants will be chosen by the judge through a show off that will be between the champion and reserve champion of each age division. So we will have those 4 individual. The 2 individuals from the senior, the 2 individuals from the intermediate, junior, and beginner. Champion and reserve champions, they will come back in, and the judge will do a show off between all of those, and then we'll gather up all the names, and the judge will pick the 2 people to represent that species in the round robin contest. And just a quick reminder, round robin, we did move that to Friday evening instead of Friday morning. It'll be Friday evening at 6 o'clock. So, hopefully you guys are all still with us and we haven't lost anybody yet, but we'll keep going. So I know we've gotten some questions. I know there's probably some rumors going around regarding some changes with our sale this year. And we'll do a quick update regarding those changes. So last October, we got the new Kansas 4-H policy, and section or rule 10.6 was actually moved. Now, I'm not going to go into full detail on what 10.6 was, but the main thing was that rule was the one that said if an animal or project went through any type of auction, it cannot go on to either State Fair or KJLS. So with the removal of that policy number 10.6, our Miami County Fair Board has changed some of the options or selling options kids can do for a project or animal. So our auction this year, not only did we change the date of the auction, but we do have some of these different options the youth, our exhibitors choose. They will need to choose which option they are going to go with for our sale. So our sale will be a combination, honestly. I know this is one of the rumors going around. Our sale will be a combination of premium only and base bid options. So, and please don't be afraid to ask questions afterwards on this. Even when we get closer to the fair, I know we're going to be doing a lot of educating. Not only 4-Hers, buyers, families, everybody on this. So please don't be afraid to ask questions because we don't want there to be any confusion when we come to that Saturday morning. So for the project auction, those 4-Hers, there's going to be 2 options on. So those sale forms that everybody has to fill out, whether you're doing the project or the livestock sale, those forms have been updated to show these different options. So again, if you guys have questions when you get down to fair and you get that form and you need to be reminded, okay, what do these options mean and stuff, please come find one of us and we'd be glad to help you guys out. Okay, so for the project auction, there'll be 2 options that the kid will have to circle which option they want to do to go through the ring. So it's either the buy or keep option, which the youth receives the premium money, but the buyer keeps such project. So that one is pretty much what we've been doing in the past, what the project auction has been doing in the past. Now, the new option this year is the 4-H keep. Again, you guys will receive that premium money, but you get to keep that project for yourself and you're able to take that project on to the state fair. So the example I'm going to use is if you do a wood project and the 4-Her wants to keep, they want to do the 4-H keep option through the auction, the 4-H keep option, I apologize, option through the sale, you get that premium money and you keep such wood project that you did, and then you could take that wood project on to state fair. I'm going to pause and hopefully let that sink in a little bit. I know these are big changes, guys. So please don't be afraid to, if you need more examples, let us know. So those are the 2 options the project auction kids have. Now for livestock. This is where it's going to be that combination too. So the kids on that sale form, when they turn it in, they will either circle what we are calling auction, which auction is pretty much how things have been in the past. So your animal will be sold through the sale as a terminal animal. Youth receives that base bid, but they lose that possession of that animal. So really, guys, this one is just like it's been in the past. Now, the premium only, this is a new one. This is when your animal will sell through the sale, but the youth only gets that premium money. So they don't get any base bid money added on. Yep, you don't receive that base bid, but the youth keeps that animal to take home. Now, whether you take that home for any reason, for whatever reason, you are keeping possession of that animal and taking it home. Whether that's to say you have a lightweight animal and you need to feed it more, you can go through the premium only. Or that those animals that go through the premium only, they can be taken on and shown at Kansas State Fair or Kansas Junior Livestock Show if you guys have gone through that nomination process. Now, I know this was probably might be a big question. We will still be offering that ship the base bid option that I know a lot of the families take advantage of to get rid of those extra animals you have. That option will still be on the table for those extra animals that are not going through our sale. Again, youth still have to fill out those sale forms, and those are due Thursday evening by 10 o'clock. We moved it to Thursday evening since Beef Show got moved, and we wanted to make sure those beef kids had enough time to get those forms filled out. But we are asking, get those forms filled out as soon as you guys can, because that's going to help us out getting that sale bill put together and sent out before Saturday morning. I hope I explained that well enough that you guys aren't too confused. But if you guys have questions on this slide, if you don't mind waiting, we're almost close to the end. If you guys don't mind waiting till the end, and we'll open the floor up for questions. Yeah, we're almost there, guys. So a couple other quick reminders. Fair entry. So pre-entries, the system will open up June 1st, and we will close it July 1st. So you have right at a month to get those pre-entries in. YQCA training for all you livestock kids, or once, most of the livestock kids are. If you're showing market beef, breeding beef, market goats, sheep, pigs, breeding goat, sheep, pigs, you guys have to go through this. And that training deadline is June 15th. If you are taking the classes online, please shoot me a copy of the certificate of completion to me. That way I know you guys did it. And then I still have 2 more classes coming up. I believe one will be April 17th. Sorry, I went blank on my dates yet. April 17th at 6:30, I believe. And then the last one I'll be offering will be May 29th, and I believe that one again will be at 6:30. So there is a cost difference. The in-person one is only $3 versus $12 if you do the online. But I get it; it's pretty quick and easy for you guys to just sit at home and get the online one done. I just ask that you send a copy of the certificate of completion to me so I can get those kids marked off as completed, because YQCA is required. And then last, horse ID papers. Those are due to the payola office by June 1st. And then you guys, your safety training that you had to do last year, again, that is due July 1st. So on that training, if you guys don't mind shooting me an email when you guys get that completed, and I will mark you off the list. All right, so we will open the floor up for questions. So please don't be afraid to ask some questions for either Karla or myself.
So you can unmute yourself to ask a question, or you can put it in the chat box, whichever you feel more comfortable with. I don't see any questions so far in the chat box, so.
And if it comes down to it and you guys think of a question later on, please don't hesitate to email Karla or myself, or give us a call at the office. We know we threw a lot of changes at you guys this year, and that's also why we're doing this Zoom call tonight in this time frame in the springtime, so you guys have enough time to grasp all these changes.
And like I said, I think it might not be the official fair book yet, but I think I'm going to put a copy of the draft of the fair book on the website probably next. It might be tomorrow. If not, it'll be Monday. So that'll be available. So if you're looking at some of these, wanting to know exactly what the requirements are for some of our new classes, they'll be in there. But yeah, and I know questions will happen as we get closer. We'll put this recording on our YouTube page and share it as well in Facebook and everything. And if I get a chance in the next, it probably is going to be a couple weeks before I can do that, but I'll try to chapter it so you can actually go straight to whatever department you're really wanting. So, but it takes me a little bit of time to do that. So I've got to get a little bit of time before I can have that.
All right, Karla, we do have a question. For the kids ages 5 to 6, what are the areas you can enter for Clover Bud?
Okay, great question. So really, clover buds, they're not allowed to do large animals. They're really they can do some approved pets, and they can do really anything static. There's not a lot of differences in that. So, but like the approved pets is amphibians, guinea pigs, dogs, ant farms, fish, cats, gerbils, mice, hamsters, rabbits, rats, things like that. They can do a garden or flower item that they've grown. They can do a food item, craft item, but really, I mean, like I said, they could do posters. They could do a poster about a calf. They just can't bring a calf to the fair, or a pig or something like that. They can do pretty much anything there. It's unlimited. So it's really anything they want to do. Any other project that we have in 4-H, if they want to do something, if they want to bring a little rock collection or rocks that they've collected, they could do that. Insect collection, really anything. It's just activity based. So it's really anything that they've done throughout the year. So did that answer?
Awesome, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, well, I think with that, thank you guys for joining us tonight. And, if you come up with questions, as Katelyn said, if you come up with questions at any time, feel free to give either one of us a call or email, chat, whatever works for you. And we'll try to get those answered as quick as possible. And please also help us spread the word, because I know I think we had 9 people on here tonight. A couple of you have already gotten off, and I understand that, but we are also missing a lot of people. So please help spread the word to your clubs. When we share it to everything, please share those with the other members, so more people know exactly what's going on. Because the worst feeling in the world is when I have to tell a kid no, or a family no, because they waited till the last minute and didn't know what the rules were. So I don't like doing that, and I really want to get the word out as much as possible so we don't have to do that. So everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing, and we have a much better fair that way. So, but with that, Katelyn, do you have anything else?
I don't. I just appreciate you guys taking time. Oh, hang on, there might be a chat.
Yes, thank you for your time.
Thank you for
You're
your
good.
time. Okay.
So, all right. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
good evening.